Okay, we're going to try something really tricky today. I'm going to actually record while I'm doing this. What am I doing? Well, somebody asked what my current mods were, so I thought we'd just go through a list of this stuff. And then maybe I'll go in and see if I can't manage to not die in the world of refreshment. Yeah, it was... I'll explain it later. Right now, let's look at the mods. Mod number 1, the unofficial Fallout 4 patch, which has all sorts of stuff in it. Basically, it's supposedly to correct problems with this, that, and the other thing. Then we have Recruit Small Bertha and Tony. This is what got Small Bertha and Tony at the lumber mill in Far Harbor. This one is the craftable working showers and sinks, or sinks and showers, one of the two. This one is kind of tricky because it's not easy to find. It's not on the Nexus anymore. I don't know if it's here at Bethesda or not, but if you can find it, it's a handy little thing. It's what it makes a lot of my kitchens because it's got working sinks, and it makes my bathrooms that work, and it's really kind of nice. This is Sim Settlements. This is the original version. This is not the Sim Settlements 2, which is much more of a DLC kind of thing. So that can be maybe more than what you're looking for, because it's got quest lines, storylines. It's very detailed. It's very big. I just wanted something that gave me SimCity in the Commonwealth, which is what this does. This particular recruiting mod is what gets you Jenny, the synth you find when you do Hunter Hunted and kill the Courser. She is the one he has been sent out to retrieve. And so this gives you her. Scavenger Power Armor. This one is kind of handy because it gives you an early suit of power armor with the ability to carry more stuff. And this is what's kind of confusing me because of this little bit down here. Complete overhaul of this mod. 2 suits exist now. One at the Robotics Disposal Ground, which you find very early, and the other at the Nuka World Junkyard. Yeah, that's why we was roaming around the Nuka World Junkyard, because I was looking for this second suit. So I'm wondering, do I have the latest version of this or not? It makes me wonder. Slocum's Joe. This gives you the opportunity to put in a Slocum's Joe's at any one of your Sim Settlement locations. You can either select it as a business or at a recreation. It fits into either one of those two categories, and it will build you a Slocum's Joe. It starts out small and it gets bigger as your Sim Settlement improves. This is nice because while you're out and gallivanting around the Commonwealth, the guy working there, or gal working there, will be busy cooking donuts and making coffees and teas, and they will be deposited into your workshop. So you'll have all of this neato keen stuff just waiting for you when you get back. This one. This one gives you, this is the one that corrupted all my water pumps. You know, the old-fashioned hand crank kind that I have to go through and delete now because they're all this magic nanotech water pump. But I think this also has something to do with, I thought it had something to do with the Boston airport. Now I'm not so sure. Children's chair. Well, if you're going to have children in your settlements, you have to have chairs that they can sit in, because they won't sit in very many of the adult ones. The Essential Slog NPCs. This is something you might want to think about, because some of your NPCs, your named NPCs at the Slog, are not protected. And you can go there, and I went there and I was so sad because there was the corpse of Deidre after one of the attacks. And so it's like, yeah, that's not nice. And then I saw this and it's like, yeah, we're going to protect Deidre next time. The Do Your Damn Job Codsworth mod. This is what makes my Sanctuary Hills look much cleaner. Because, I mean, seriously, you can't, without mods, you can't just simply delete all the piles of trash in the middle of the street. Seriously? You can build an entire building out of nothing, but you can't rake up a bunch of dead leaves. It's so dumb. That's one of the things that just boggles me about the vanilla game. You know, you can't haul a dead body out of a house and get rid of it. Seriously? Fairline Hills Draco Fixed Roofs. There are two versions of this mod that gives you Fairline Hills as a settlement. One of them, they fix the roofs, which is this one, and there's one where they don't have fixed roofs and you can have the fun of trying to fix them yourselves. I'm lazy. I got the fixed roof version. Makeshift homes. This is kind of handy because it gives you, well, as you're sitting here watching the red rocket with the power armor in it, it gives you, the mod author recreated this, and you can use it as a player home. And yes, you can get a set of T60 armor out of it, T61 armor. And it looks very much like this, except that the one that's the makeshift home is near the super mutant behemoth that's trying to do his own car hinge. But it gives you that. It gives you a bookstore a little farther down, just past Fort Hagen. It gives you a crypt there in the one cemetery. It gives you a home inside a water tower. And it gives you the little diner down inside Boston, where you're like right there inside. Basically just little places where if you're playing on one of the higher levels, it's a convenient place to just pop in and take a load off. Do your sleep, do your eat, do your refreshing, whatever. The only tricky bit is that, apart from the one that's kind of in downtown Boston, you have to kind of go. They're mostly in the northern part of the map. So down in the lower parts, you're on your own. Northland Diggers. Northland Diggers is nice because you get all of the you get the big mute fruit trees. You get all the little stations that let you do little odds and ends that can increase settlement happiness, can generate odds and ends, and keeps your settlers busy. It's kind of nice thing to have, really. Orphans' beds. Again, if you don't have this and you have children, they will only sleep on mattresses on the ground or sleeping bags. This makes kid-sized beds that the kids will sleep in. Child posters, just decorations for the kids. Orphans. This is the mod that actually gets you Orphans of the Commonwealth. There are different versions of this. There's one where they fix the hair, one where they do more variations of it. We Are the Minutemen. This one is kind of nice because it's what makes it so that when you're walking around and you head for a settlement, you'll find a squad of Minutemen walking by. Or when you go to a checkpoint and your Minutemen are there and you see that they're wearing power armor and armed with something better than a hand-cranked laser musket. So basically, this helps the Minutemen to keep up with you. And it makes them more like what you would expect your Minutemen to be doing, keeping an eye on the Commonwealth. Plucky Little Trailer. I still have not yet deployed my Plucky Little Trailer. It's a player home that you can choose the point where you drop it. Basically, it's just a mod that has a pretty outside that looks like a trailer. and it's got an inside cell, so you can really put it anywhere. Previously, I had deployed it on the overpass just east of Grey Garden. I'm seriously considering dropping this one up by Evan's house. Just so, it seems to be relatively quiet there, and, Evan seems like he'd be a good neighbor. School desks. This is where my kids go to school. It gives you kids' desks, it gives you the teacher's desk, and again, it's for dealing with the kids. MSO SMS. I am not sure what this is. Oh, I don't know. I may have to look that up. Settlement Objects Expanded Pack. This is so handy too, because it gives you basically the stuff that the game can use, but you can't. Well, now you can. You get better walls, especially with the vault. It gives you better lighting in your vault. When you build the big atrium, you actually get the pieces at the top will actually produce enough light to light up your atrium. It's a very handy thing to have. It's got all sorts of good parts in it that you will want, and some that are just overkill. BioShock-inspired power armor and submersible power armor. Yeah, basically Big Daddy suits. One gives you the Subject Delta. One gives you like a Rosie, and the other one is kind of different, but the same. It's got the more of the round helmet on it. So the Boston Airport Workshop fix. This actually fixes the Boston Airport, so you can you can have food. You can put a settlement beacon in. I mean, the original game, I think the only reason you had a Boston Airport settlement at all was just to be able to make parts for Liberty Prime. Well, this, you can use those garden plots that I think are part of Contraptions or Wasteland Workshop or whatever, where you can just lay out a garden plot and you can actually plant stuff in it, so you can have food. You can grow your own food at your Boston Airport. It's a very handy thing to have. Home improvement. Somebody asked me, how did I make the log cabins? That's all part of this. You've got houses that look better than the standard junk from Sim Settlement. Not to speak ill of Sim Settlement, but it's like, you're in the wasteland, and a lot of the built-in buildings are all very scrap-oriented. This one, it's got the log cabin, it's got the A-frame, it's got a nice little brick house, it's got a nice little sanctuary-style house, basically, and it gives you the more elaborate farming plots. It gives you the big fountain that's full of tar berries. It gives you the greenhouse. There's a greenhouse that you can build. And so it's just really nice. Thematic and practical. This is where you actually do get junk stuff, but this is what I'm using mainly for the beds. It gives you bunk beds that actually will work. You get couples beds that actually work. They look like junk, but they work. And there's some Brotherhood of Steel stuff in there that looks really nice, but boy, it eats into your settlement size budget really fast, so you gotta watch using that. Timer power switch. This is just, it's a switch that you can use a terminal that you can set what time the switch comes on and what time the switch comes off. In the past, I've used it. You can stick one of those on the side of the building for the drive-in, and if you've got the videos of the Wasteland where the drive-in actually projects movies, you can set it so it doesn't project movies until the sun goes down. Likewise, you can use it to turn your street lights on when the sun goes down instead of having them on all the time. This is another sim settlement stuff. This is vault plots. So they're mostly interior, better looking apartments for nothing else. They're all interior plots, so you get a more clean looking apartment for each person. Plus, it's got some more like interior plots for agriculture and stuff. And I don't know if this is where the big fancy door is or not, but it's a handy thing to have. Scrap everything. Okay, what can I say about scrap everything? It lets you get rid of some of this junk that you should be able to get rid of, but the game won't let you do it. And be careful, because it will get rid of stuff that you don't want to get rid of, like the wall or the floor. So you got to be really careful with scrap everything. And that appears to be it for the mods in the mod order. I don't know how many of these are available here through Bethesda, but and I don't know how many of them will work on something other than the PC. Although on the Nexus, the Sim Settlement stuff claims to be workable with an Xbox One. So there is that. Now the other thing that happens is this, because I do use these. Now, using the Creation Club, for some reason, if you pay for your mods, if you pay Bethesda for your mods, they don't count as mods. So if you're looking to get achievements, these you can get and you're good to go. They'll work. So that's kind of cheating, but oh well. Arcade pack. This gives you, these are like projector lights. You get big fancy posters, and you get video game cabinets of all of your Pip-Boy games. They're in different colors. You get little stools that go with them. You get new floors. The floors that you're looking around. This you get a new carpeted floor for it. So you've got that. The thing is you have to run a wire to one of the machines, but they have conduits along the bottom, so if you place them side by side, they will pass power through to them. I have yet to see if you can connect a conduit to the machine itself and then, like run it up to the wall and, connect it through that way. That could be handy. Also, you get these lights. You get different kinds of lights like that. So that's some of the neat stuff you get with this particular mod. Paint job, paint job, paint job. Paint jobs, if you pay attention to the Creation Club, a lot of times these are freebies. So you just go and you get them. And it's like, how can you pass up freebies? If they're just going to give it to you, take them. You don't have to use them. But they basically follow around. I've got 2 different computers right now. They're all logged into the same account, even though they've got like 4 or 5 different playthroughs on them. Everybody gets access to the Creation Club stuff that's in yours. And Captain Cosmos. This is kind of handy because you get this funky little gun that you can modify to, it can shoot ice, it can shoot other stuff. You get these, this one, it's like, I use this one because with the blue, it kind of looks like a vault suit. They do take ballistic weave, and you can do blue, yellow, orange, whatever. You can get 2 of these with the Creation. You get the jetpack power armor. You get 2 of these with the Creation, and apparently it allows you to put a hat on top of it. This is kind of the location where you get one of them. It's just sitting right out. The other one is in a room that's kind of hard to get to. But you got a whole quest. You have to go down to I can't think of the name of the building right now. It's infested with super mutants, so you got to battle through super mutants. But if you've got a companion, it's not that tough, and you can get this pretty happening piece of power armor pretty early in the game. Jetpack too. It's like, so, you know, it's kind of cheating. The Chinese stealth armor is like a stealth boy that's just on all the time. When you get this creation, it's at the South Boston Police Checkpoint. They're near Jamaica Plain. So, yeah. Basically, it's just this. It's stealth armor. And it works pretty good. And it takes ballistic weave. So, it can be actual armor. Slocum Joe. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. This is a great thing to have. It really is. And not just because you get these silly power armor plates, not because you can make donuts, but because you get tiled floors with foundations that don't eat up all your concrete. It takes less concrete to make these floors and foundations than it does other ones. You get these brick walls in different colors. You get this kind of dingy white with a stripe. You can get just plain white. You get brick colored. You get these ceilings with or without built-in fluorescent lights. These lights here, they light up every bit as good as just the plain light bulb, except they look better. You get these booths. You get them in this color. You get them in tan. You get different odds and ends for signage and stuff. You can hire a guy to work. I mean, it sells. It's a vendor. You've got these display cases. You've got these cooling racks. You've got this signage. You've got these menu boards. You've got uniforms for your people. You've got just decorative boxes. It's just really handy. And yeah, here's some of those donut signs you can put out, and here's this. But really, the big thing with this is for building. You just get some really great stuff for building. And as you can see, it's another place to hire a person to help your settlement happiness. And, you know, these donuts are good for stuff. You've got donuts heal this, give you better AP, give you better HP, give you better carry weights. There's just all sorts of this stuff can help out, just like any other aid items can. Fantasy Hero set. Yeah, it's not much. You get the helmet, you get the sword, and it's all part of the exploring the comics place. So, you know, it's okay. If you're a melee player, this is probably more value to you than it is to me. To me, it's just stuff. And I got it because it was a freebie. So, otherwise I wouldn't have worried about it. And it's got a quest. The donut place, the donut creation has a quest. You just go into the corporate headquarters. You go up, you fight a few gunners, raiders, whatever, and you pick up the stuff and you're done. Graphics t-shirt pack. Yeah, this was another one that was either bundled in or just freebie or whatever. Basically, you just start finding different clothing around. You know, Nuka-Cola, the comic books, Vault-Tec stuff. It's what it says. You find graphic t-shirts around. The Holiday Workshop pack. This is nice. Yeah, you get the silly, sexy Santa clothing, which looks a lot better on Kate than it does on Nate. You get funky paint schemes for things. You get Christmas decorations. You get the little tree, you get wreaths, you get Christmas lights, you get this, that, and the other thing. You get a real Santa outfit that you can use. Again, outdoor decorations, lights, candles, little figurines. You get these fake trees, and you get all the decorations for them. All of these little decorations, there are snap points on this fake tree for these things to snap onto. You get presents to put on the ground. You get this. And it's kind of odd. Here's another one of the paint jobs. And more of the paint jobs, armor, and this. What kind of disappoints me is they don't show the big reason why I got it. And that's because you get fireplaces. You get the modern metal one that you've got all over Sanctuary. You get brick ones, stone ones, and they have fires in them. So it's like when it's cold at night, you can have an actual fireplace inside one of your buildings. That, for me, is the reason why you get this. And the quest here is you go to the garage behind the Big Fallon store, so you don't have to deal with all the super mutants, but you do have to deal with a angry ghoul who used to be the Santa. Picket Fence's Home Decor Workshop. Again, it's home decor. You get new beds. You get big signs, you get some furniture, you get some planters, you get, it's furniture. Something more that you didn't have. You get new bobbleheads. And, if you can find it cheap, by all means grab it. Modern furniture. Again, more furniture. As you can see, it's got this. So we sit here and wait. Are you going to load up? Maybe no, maybe yes. Okay, we've got a few more. But not only are you getting furniture, you're getting rugs, you're getting lamps, you're getting beds, you're getting floors, you're getting walls. Those nice wooden walls that I use, those nice plaster walls I use, yeah, it comes from one of these. So, again, if you're into settlement building, this would be a good one to pick up on sale. Oops, wrong one. All right, the Nuka-Cola Workshop. This has yet another quest. Across the street from the comics place, you find the new Cafe Ola. And the poor girl who tried to start her own Nuka-Cola cafe. And she didn't do so hot. And you have to go hunt her down, get her keys. But when you do, you get this, which includes a player home. And it gives you new cafe booths, chairs, tables, beds, lamps, wall decorations. You get clothes. There's all sorts of clothes with this. You get a refrigerator. You get a lot of stuff that all says Nuka-Cola on it, or Quantum, or it's all Nuka-Cola themed. But that's okay. It's useful stuff if you can get this on a discount. Okay, more paint jobs. Some of these are nice if when you're not in power armor, you can make it match your clothing better. So that's kind of nice. That's as far as I'm concerned, that's the only real reason for using it. So that, you can, like, color scheme for your Silver Shroud outfit. It's more dark and subdued, so it looks better when you're the Silver Shroud. And we have Power Armor paints. Aquatic Camo, Chrome, Desert Camo. This would actually probably be useful out there in Nuka World. Green, orange, patriotic. Pink, purple, red, yellow. And you get different buffs for, like any paint job, it gives you a buff to something. Guns and bullets. Yeah, the prototype Gauss rifle. Yeah, it's there. And once you get it, once you find that one, you'll also be able to find vendors selling it. But I gotta be honest with you, I prefer the one that's in-game, in the vanilla, over this. If you liked the Gauss rifles in the previous versions of Fallout 4, you'll probably like this one. Sentinel control systems. I waited a long time for this one to go on sale. You get new paint jobs. You get this it's Brotherhood Outcast paint job. And this is Hot Rod Stripes. And you get the robot to follow you, basically, is what he is. He's a robot companion. He doesn't take damage. He doesn't count as a companion, so you and Dance and this little critter can go around 3 power armored figures and just wreak havoc on the Commonwealth, basically. So it's kind of handy. And you do have a bit of a quest with it, so it's okay. Make it your own. Vault suit customization. You're there at Vault 88 and says, why blue? Why not yellow? Well, I think yellow, brown. Basically, color your own power armor. Add your own things to it. I think it drops vault suits around the Commonwealth, so you find more of them, and you get this modification with it. And, if you're going to do a lot with your vault, this is a kind of handy thing to have. Again, when it's on sale. And weapons paint jobs. Yep, lots of weapons paint jobs. So, if you want your weapons to look, if you're playing as an Institute, you can make Institute. Railroad. Pikmin. Minutemen. Hot Rod Shark. Hot Rod Flames to match your power armors. Gunners. Enclave. Brotherhood of Steel. So basically, this is it. Those are my creations and my mods. Will I add more? Yeah, probably. If I add enough more, I'll do another one of these. But for now, I think we're just going to go ahead and call it quit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next time.